everyone, Adrienne here. So yes, I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. I was going to film last Friday, which is the last Friday of April, but I just wasn't in the right headspace to do so, so unfortunately I did not film. Oh well, it happens. I'm sure you guys understand. So yes, I realize it has been a rather long while since last I've made an installment of Baudelaire on booze, but today, I'm finally going to do it. I'm really excited. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to be diving into Les Paradises Artificiels by Charles Baudelaire. And this was a book that I had been meaning to get my paws on for a while. I just never got around to it, but within the last few months or so, I got my paws on this one, and I liked most of what I read, but I'll be honest, the last passage of it where I think he was reviewing Confessions of an Opium Eater by William de Quincey. Oh my god, it was so boring. Anyway, but I will be covering a couple of passages from this in today's video, and it's going to be great. So one thing I wanted to mention before I get drunk on Absinthe is that my dear, good friend, and beloved maestro Ashton Nyte is coming out with not only a new album, but a book as well. And I am super, 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 super excited about it, and I just feel so honored to call him my friend, just saying. And as a matter of fact, there's an exciting musical project involving both me and him coming up in May, but I'll talk a little bit more on that later on. You guys will see. Yeah. It's exciting. So the new album that will be coming out is called Waiting for a Voice, and the book has the same exact title. So in regard to the album, it's going to be 11 new songs written, recorded, and produced by Ashton Nyte, featuring some of his most personal work to date. The bulk of the work was written and recorded between October 2009 and February 2020, with a handful of songs being a little older. Ashton has described the work as cinematic and intimate, built around or at times beneath the words and their delivery. The songs range from dark acoustic journeys to fully realized theatrical imaginings with an otherworldly charm and passion. From haunting to haunted, this is indeed poetry for the brokenhearted and the hopeful. So he is going to have this available both in album, like CD and vinyl, and he's also going to have a digital copy available for those who want digital instead of the actual physical copies. And as for the book, it is his very first book. I'm so proud of him. Seriously, so proud. It is his debut written work and contains full album lyrics, thoughts, poems, short stories, sketches, pictures, and anecdotes by the author. Ashton shares musings about life, the creative process, and his place in the world. His thoughts and at times humorous observations are woven around the lyrics for the new album, selected unreleased poems and short stories, along with some out-of-print lyrics and previously unspoken dreams. So it's going to be available in both hardcover and paperback, and it'll be coming out around the time of the new album as well. So both the album and the book will be released in July of 2020, specifically the 20th. So there are several different packages that you can purchase. You can get a signed copy of the book, either hardcover or paperback. You can get a signed vinyl, you can get a CD in a book, you can get a vinyl in a book, all autographed. And then you also have the option of joining in for a Skype concert or kind of a Skype reading party, I guess. And I've already purchased a spot with one of those because I'm really sad that I missed out on it last time for Chasm. So lots of different packages here that you can purchase to support Ashton and his new project, and it will also allow him to tour in the future, and I'm sincerely hoping that will happen in the US soon. Really soon, because I'm really sad that I missed out on it when he went on tour last time in the US, and you know, I've gone through it already. I missed him 2 years ago in Seattle, and I'm really sad. So you can do private acoustic shows, book reading session, album listening session, that sort of thing, private concerts, and you can even fly him out to either your house or a different venue to book him in. So I will have a link for all of that information in the description below, so you guys can go support Ashton Nyte. Like I said, I am so lucky that I have gotten to know him and be his friend over the past year and a half. I'm just so honored, and I'm so damn impressed with the work he's been doing. Just saying. So anyway, links for all that crap will be in the description below. Go check it out, or I will beat you. So for today's video, since it is going to be an installment of Baudelaire on booze, I am going to be drinking Libertine in 1072, which is the strongest authentic absinthe that I have in my arsenal. The only one I have stronger than this is Absinthe Gothica, but I want to be able to drink an authentic one today. Absinthe Gothica is 80% alcohol, but it's black, and I'd rather stick with something traditional and proper. Just saying. So I'm gonna pour myself a glass of this, I'm going to get drunk, and we're going to go through some of my favorite passages in Les Paradises Artificiels. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, I have just finished my glass of Libertine in 1072, and whew! I can feel it. It's really nice. Just in case you guys don't know, Libertine in 1072 is 72% alcohol. And yes, I'm putting on glasses because I'm a nerd and I'm blind, and I'm going to be reading off these passages to you. And I figure I'll have an easier time of it if I, do it with my glasses on so I can see. I'm blind as fuck. Alright, so here is one of these passages in this book that I really, really, really liked. I sometimes imagine that I can hear the voice of wine. It speaks from its soul in a low musical language that only the spirit can understand. Man, my dear friend, despite my glass prison bottled with cork, I wish to sing to you a song of true fraternity, a song that is mercy, full of light and hope. I am not ungrateful. I know that I owe you my life. I know that the pain your labors cost you, with the sun beating down on your shoulders. You have given me life, for which I will abundantly reward you. I will generously repay my debt, for I feel great joy when I fall down a throat parched by toil. I would sooner dwell in the stomach of an honest man, a cheerful grave wherein I enthusiastically fulfill my destiny, than in the dreary, unfeeling cellars. I raise a mighty turbulence within the laborer's stomach, and from there mount up invisible ladders into the brain, where I execute my supreme dance. Gosh, it's just really interesting to hear him make such a really good metaphor for how wine makes you feel. It's pretty great. Charles is amazing. Can you hear the powerful refrains of ancient times, the songs of love and glory resounding and echoing within me? I am the soul of your native land, half soldier and half gentleman. I am Sunday's hope. As work makes for prosperous days, so wine makes for joyful Sundays. Pay me proud tribute, with your shirt sleeves rolled back and your elbows leaning upon the family table, and you shall know true contentment. Yeah, it's like saying wine is a very comforting friend to you, and almost godlike, kind of, in this context. It's really interesting. I will brighten the eye of your old wife, partner of your daily sorrows and of your brightest hopes. I will soften her gaze and restore the youthful glow to her eye, and your dear son, the pale little donkey, as saddled with worries as a dray horse, for him I will be the oil that anointed the limbs of wrestlers in ancient days. I will drop into your chest like a vegetal ambrosia. I will be the grain that regenerates the cruelly plowed furrow. Poetry will be born of our intimate union. A God we shall create together, and we shall soar heavenward like sunbeams, perfumes, butterflies, birds, and all winged things. Thus sings wine in its mysterious language. Woe to him whose egotistical heart is closed to his brother's misfortunes, having never heard this song. I really like that particular passage. It is just really, really lovely. And fascinating to read, really. And it's really coming from the depths of Baudelaire's soul, how wine makes him feel and how wine inspires him. It's really cool. And here's another passage I really liked. It is not reasonable to believe that people who never drink wine are either idiots or hypocrites. Idiots, that is to say, those who know nothing of humanity and nature, artists who disdain the traditional means of art, workers who curse the machinery, and hypocrites, that is to say, the shameful gluttons, the flag wavers of sobriety who drink in secret from carefully concealed bottle. A man who drinks only water has a secret to be kept from his peers. Yeah. Just really cool. Kind of reminds me of some of the funny posts I see on Absinthe Memes, the Facebook page. I'm sure you guys have probably seen a few of these. They're so funny. Oh my god, they are so funny. The restorative benefits of wine course so powerfully through the veins of some people that their legs become stronger and their sense of hearing becomes excessively acute. I knew of one individual who found that when he was drunk, his feeble eyesight fully regained its original penetrating powers. Wine made an eagle of the mole. As an unknown author once expressed it, nothing equals the joy of a man who drinks, unless it be the joy of the wine being drunk. It really is interesting to see Baudelaire personifying wine in these passages. It's really fascinating, and it kind of gives you a really different perspective on just the act of getting drunk, just in general, no matter what it is. Hell, I just got drunk off of absinthe, and I feel great. Also, this goes without saying, please drink responsibly. Now, there are some passages I really would like to go through in terms of hashish and opium, because he does discuss these two substances as well within this book. One thing I will say that I am really disappointed about when it came to this book is that Baudelaire did not discuss absinthe at all within this book. He only discussed wine, hashish, and opium. That was it. I was sincerely hoping that he, as a famous absinthe drinker, would talk about the effects of absinthe and how he, as an artist, would allow it to inspire him and open up his mind and to allow him to create, but I didn't find anything of the sort. And that was kind of what I was hoping for when I bought this book, but even still, I really like what I've found in it mostly. I will say, like, the last part where it seems to be a review of De Quincey's Confessions of an Opium Eater, is just boring. So boring. An appalling marriage of man to himself. I had become a bounden slave in the trammels of opium, and my labors and my orders had taken a coloring from my dreams, says Ligeia's husband. And as we see in many marvelous passages, how Edgar Poe, that incomprehensible poet, that refuted philosopher who must always be cited apropos to mysterious maladies of the mind. Aegeus, the metaphysician, lover of the radiant Berenice, speaks of an alteration to his faculties in abnormal and monstrous intensity of interest that he is compelled to apply to the contemplation of even the simplest phenomena. And the nervous August Bedloe, who swallows a great quantity of opium before setting forth upon his morning walk, tells us that he derives a curious benefit from this daily poisoning, as the opium endues all things, even the most trivial, with an exaggerated intensity of interest. So he speaks through the mouths of his characters, this master of horror, this prince of mysteries. These two traits of opium are perfectly applicable to hashish. But in the first case, as in the second, the intellect, formerly at liberty, becomes enslaved, but the word rhapsodic, which so aptly defines a train of thought suggested and ordered by the external world and by chance circumstance, is, in the case of hashish intoxication, a more real and terrible truth. Here, reason is reduced to a wreckage at the mercy of every current, and the train of thought is infinitely more accelerated and infinitely more rhapsodic. I believe this demonstrates in a sufficiently clear manner that the immediate effect of hashish is much harsher than that of opium. In a word, much more an enemy of everyday life, much more troubling. I do not know whether 10 years of using hashish will lead to disasters equal to those caused by a 10-year regimen of opium. I can say that as far as the present hour and the day after tomorrow are concerned, that the effects of hashish are far more fiendish. One is peaceful, and the other is a chaotic demon. Just really cool to see him talking about that. Obviously, I don't do opium or hashish. I just find it fascinating, that's all. I just love that he brings up the work of Edgar Allan Poe within this book, because obviously Baudelaire was a huge fan of Edgar Allan Poe, and he straight up admits several times that he would not have pursued poetry or literary criticism or art criticism or anything of the sort without inspiration from dear Edgar. And he's often referred to Edgar as his soul brother, if that tells you anything. And the last thing I want to read to you guys is the final passage, or part of the final passage, that is. But death menaces all of our plans and grants us no choice. Let us dream of happiness, and it says neither no nor yes. Death, with flying haste, springs from ambush to sweep away with a single wing beat. All of our plans, our dreams, the ideal structures in which we shelter the thoughts of glory of our last days. And that really just kind of concludes a really just good note about life just in general. Take advantage of what's there. Live life to every single moment. Take advantage of everything. You know, experience everything that you can. And that's certainly a way that a lot of goths that I know, and I can even apply this, you know, ideology to myself, where I want to seek out new things. I want to experience everything that I want to experience. I want to indulge in things that bring me pleasure and enrich my mind, and I want to pass on that legacy. So, those are my thoughts on Les Paradises Artificiels by Charles Baudelaire. So, it was a really good read for the most part. Like I said, the last passage where he was essentially doing a review of De Quincey's Confessions of an Opium Eater was just so mind-numbingly boring. Maybe it's just because I've not read the book that he's reviewing personally. That could be it. But I just found it boring. I'm sorry. And it was just boring. I'm sorry. You guys know me. Charles Baudelaire is one of my favorite writers of all time. He's my favorite poet. And for me to find something of his boring, it is worth mentioning. And it shows that I'm not bullshitting and that I'm not just sucking ass and saying of everything that he ever writes, oh my god, it's so amazing, all the time. It's definitely not the case. The last passage of that book was definitely not, you know, engaging or exciting in any way. I'm sorry. So, those are my thoughts on Les Paradises Artificiels. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave a link for this book in the description below. If there are other works by Charles Baudelaire that you would like me to talk about or read that I have not yet discussed, please leave those in the comments below. Also, what did you think of the passages I read? I thought they were pretty fucking cool. I really do. And again, I just find Baudelaire to be a very, very fascinating writer in so many ways. And he was trend-setting, he was unique, he was earth-shattering. And that's why I love him so much. And guys, please remember to go check out the link I have in the description below about Ashton Nyte's new book and album coming out later this year. I cannot tell you how excited I am for it. And I'm just so thrilled to see him creating something new. Of course, anytime he creates, obviously, it's wonderful, but to see him actually write a book is just like, wow. I need to get my paws on it. I need to read it. If you guys actually want me to do a review of that, please tell me. I'd be interested to know if you guys are interested in that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please make sure to hit the bell for notifications. Thank you so much to my patrons, and I love each and every one of you. You're amazing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.